Hi, Level Up community. This is Lee, and I'm back to share some of my learnings from the 4 Level Up courses that I was able to take for the month of July. First, I learned about what a mortgage interest credit is and how it would be beneficial for the clients in terms of their tax return. For this type of credit, what's critical is the pre-loan stage, since this will determine whether my future client would qualify for the credit. That's why I'll surely be sharing this concise infographic that you're seeing right now about the mortgage interest credit, which already answers the 5 W's and a timeline of events to follow. Now, let's start as to who are going to be qualified. The taxpayer must be a first-time home buyer following the 3-year rule, meaning they haven't purchased a home in the past 3 years, and if they may have owned a home in the past but subsequently sold it, they could still actually qualify if they haven't had any ownership in a home in the past 3 years before buying a new home. Next would be the taxpayer should be buying a personal residence under certain income limitation, possible purchase price limit, and certain location, which are going to be set by the state or the county that offers the mortgage interest credit. These limitations will lead us to the what, which is the mortgage credit certificate received from the state or local agency. From this document will help our client check to see if there are preferred area qualifies through the Housing Finance Department, and this mortgage credit certificate is a needed support also for the credit tax return. By qualifying and applying for the mortgage credit certificate, the client will be able to save more in taxes, since the mortgage interest credit will have a direct decrease effect in any tax due in the return, instead of just claiming the entire interest as deduction to arrive at the taxable income. And this will allow our clients to claim tax credit, which could be 10 to 50% of the interest that they have paid. But it's also worthy to note that in order to qualify, our client should be able to receive the mortgage credit certificate before getting a mortgage and buying the actual home. And most importantly, the taxpayer should file the tax return every year of ownership, and the mortgage credit certificate will be reported in Form A396 every year. Up next, I also learned more of the technicality of this mortgage interest credit, and here is a simple illustration that I got from the learning course for our reference. As mentioned earlier, the taxpayer will receive a mortgage credit certificate, and this will show a percentage of how much portion of the interest will be allowable as tax credit. As a rule, there's a 20% threshold, wherein if the allowable tax credit does not exceed 20%, then there will be no maximum credit in the return. However, if it exceeds the threshold, then there would be a $2,000 maximum credit. Note that this tax credit is non-refundable, meaning the credit can only reduce the taxpayer's total liability to 0, and this can't be refunded to the taxpayer or create any overpayment. All right, that would be all for now. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day. Bye-bye.